What's good, fight fans? It's Ash's Corner. Shout out to the LDBC, the Lions Den Boxing community. Real quick, this nice, pleasant Monday morning, I want to talk about the comments and what happened after Telefimo versus Kami. Okay, Lomachenko came in the ring and he basically expressed that he does want this fight. This is a picture after the interview of him talking about him wanting to fight. And when he said it, he says that he will see Telefimo Lopez in April. And after that, he wants Gervonta Tank Davis. Okay, now listen. First of all, from the first part of what he's saying, he wants to fight Telefimo Lopez in April. Now, as far as Telefimo's concerned, if he beats Loma, which I believe he is going to stop Lomachenko, because that fight's definitely going to happen. Telefimo came out as the takeover and immediately talking about Loma and trying to whip his ass and take his crown. Immediately, he wants that fight. Lomachenko's been talking about undisputed for 135 pounds, and he's going to take that fight because of that. Now, if I lost anybody, Telefimo Lopez, if he beats Lomachenko, he gains the WBO and the WBA super belt, and he retains his own IBF. He still has to go and chase down that WBC to become undisputed. But in Lomo's case, all Lomo has to do is beat Telefimo. And yes, I know that sounds weird, and I know it's very unfair, but that's the reality of this particular situation. When Lomachenko fought lukewarm Campbell Soup and beat Luke Campbell, he got the the WBC title. Since then, he's dropped that title and got the franchise title. And that title that he had at first, the regular WBC title, went to the person he did not fight for that title, which is Devin Haney. Now, because he has the franchise belt, it was confusion about what exactly it stands for when it comes to undisputed. Now, I believe the guy that came out, I can't remember his name, but he came out and said that it's still a title for the WBC, so it still holds ranking like a WBC title, even though it is the franchise title. But when you pull up Lomachenko's on BoxRec, this is what it says. Right up under titles held, it says World Boxing Association Super World Light title. That is the WBA Super title. And it says World Boxing Organization World Light title. That is the WBO. It doesn't even say he holds any WBC title, let alone the regular WBC title or the franchise title. It says nothing about it. So it is very confusing, but I think it's Maurice Suleiman. I think is the person that said this or came out with the whole franchise title bit. But that's how it's working. So if Telefimo Lopez and Lomo do clash in April and Lomo wins and he becomes undisputed, remember I said this because it's very confusing, but this is the truth of the matter. So, the fight's definitely going to happen. He already has a month. When when the fighter comes out and steps in the ring and be like, all right, I see you in April, you know the shit's going down. That fight is definitely going to happen. As long as there's no injuries, that fight's going to happen in April. Telefimo Lopez versus Vasily Lomachenko is going down, okay, in April 2020. But I'm going to hit you off with the specs real quick. Telefimo Lopez has 15 wins, no losses. He's 15-0, 12 knockouts. He's fought for a total of only 60 total rounds in his professional career. He has 80% knockout rating. He's 22 years old. He's 5'8", with the 68.5-inch reach. He is the IBF champion fighting out of New York, Brooklyn, New York. And Vasily Lomachenko is 14-1. He has 10 knockouts. He's fought for 131 total rounds. His knockout rating is 66.67%. He's 31 years old. He's 5'7", with a 65.5-inch reach, and he is a southpaw. He is the WBA super and WBO lightweight champion, as well as the WBC franchise champion. Now, when you look at the stats of both fighters, they both had the exact same amount of fights. Teofimo is 15-0, and Lomachenko's 14-1. Exactly the same amount of fights. Lomachenko's fought for a lot more rounds, 71 more rounds to be exact. And he has less KOs, and he does have a loss. But in my opinion, Lomachenko has the better resume. He's fought the better fighters. It's a coincidence, but the only fighters that's black on his resume are the only fighters that's undefeated on his resume. And yes, he did beat Gary Russell and Nicholas Walters and Rigondeaux. He beat all three of those fighters. All three of those fighters was undefeated champions. Was undefeated fighters, excuse me. But Lopez, only fighter he fought that was undefeated was the Japanese guy that he looked bad against. So Lomachenko does have the better resume, seeing that he did fight at 126, 130, and 135, and did accomplish in getting a title at all of those weight classes. He does have a much better resume, and he's fought the better competition. And that's probably why. That's another reason why he's fought for so many rounds. But Teofimo has a lot of power, has a lot of pop. And then I think in 2017 he fought 5 or 6 times. And since then he fights 4 times a year. That's why he caught up to the game. He caught up to Lomachenko, and he caught up to actually the people that came in with him. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Shakur Steve. Well, not so much Shakur Stevenson, but those are all the new fighters, and now he's retained his title as well as those other fighters in only 15 fights, and his 16th fight will be against Lomachenko. But Teofimo is fast. He's fast, man. When it comes to the speed, they could be tied. For real. I don't see Lomo that much faster than Teofimo, but I do see Teofimo a lot more powerful than Lomo. And Lomo sees the power. He knows the power. He knows it's there. No excuses. This is going to be a great fight, okay? Teofimo is 9 years younger than Lomachenko. He is an inch taller. He got 3 inches of reach on him. Lomachenko's just a southpaw. I don't even know if I need to go back and check, but I don't know if Teofimo Lopez has fought a southpaw in his professional career. If he has, I know it's not as skilled southpaw as Lomachenko. So he's gonna have his hands full that night. But that man cannot play games. He cannot play games with Lomachenko. Lomachenko's career started in 2013. October 2013 was his first professional debut fight. Teofimo Lopez's first professional debut fight was November in 2016. So Teofimo Lopez started 3 years after Lomo, and they have the same number of fights. The same number of fights. Okay? This is not as far fetched on paper as people would think it is. It's kind of even as shit on paper. But as far as my eye test goes, I see a knockout coming. I see Lomachenko getting knocked out in April whenever he fights Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez will do him in. I said this shit from jump. When Teofimo Lopez, 4 or 5 fights ago, I said that he would knock out Lomachenko. I said Gervonta Davis will knock out Lomachenko. And I know for sure Devin Haney will beat Lomo. He can beat Lomo as well. He's number 4 in my book as far as 135. Lomo's not number 1, 2, or 3. He's number 4. Those 3 fighters whoop his ass, in my opinion. But just like I said, he said he's going to fight him in April and then fight Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, the question is, after he loses in April, because he's going to lose to Teofimo Lopez, is he still going to fight Gervonta Tank Davis? But meanwhile, Gervonta Tank Davis has his own fight against Gamboa at the end of December, at the end of this year. If he loses his title, I mean, if he loses his fight and doesn't get the WBA, is that fight still going to happen? We don't know. But even if Lomo loses or beats um, Lopez in April, I still would like to see the fight with him versus Tank Davis. Win, lose, or draw, I still want to see Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lomo sometime at the end of 2020 or sometime after, you know, that he fights Lopez. But I'm looking up, I'm pretty happy about 2020. It's going to be some pretty good fights. And it seems to me Lomo's going to have two losses on his record after 2020. Because Lomo's going to get his ass whooped by Lopez in April. And if he fights Gervonta Davis, he's going to get his ass whooped again, in my opinion. But I see the fight going, Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko, they're going to stand in front of each other. They're going to trade. And then he's going to stop doing what he's doing and try something different and try something different and try something different. All of that shit isn't going to work. It's nothing that Lomo can do to beat Lopez in my opinion. And that's how I've been seeing it. Nothing. It's nothing he can do. The man is deteriorating as we speak, okay? And I'm not being disrespectful. I'm honest. I'm just being honest, He's up against a younger, fresher, faster, stronger, and he's not a dumb fighter. And he do have pretty good boxing IQ. The guy knows how to box, and I'm talking about Teofimo Lopez. I just don't see no way that Lomo's going to beat him. And during this fight, Lopez, as long as Lopez come out thinking defense first and straight countering Lomachenko, as long as he sit down on his shots in the beginning in the first round and show his power and speed to Lomo, he'll make Lomo think more than what he has to. As long as you keep making him reset, it's all good. That's all. Lopez just need to come out swinging the same way he did Kami and try to get him out early. That's the same thing he needs to do with Lomachenko, but make sure that you're on the defensive first. And another thing, like even though it was only 2 rounds of fight, Kami caught the shit out of Lopez with that straight right hand, and Kami can punch. We've seen him take punishment and not get bubbled up. We've seen Lomachenko take punishment from Petraza and got his face cut the hell up. Okay. Luke Campbell's suit made his face look bad. Like, I just think as far as the chin goes, I think Lopez probably have a better chin also. And he's facing somebody that can't really punch that well. And he's quick. I don't see Lomo getting 3-punch combination, all 3 punches off on Lopez. Lopez is going to be on his top of his game. He's going to be the best prepared ever for this fight in April. And Lomo loses to him. But let me know what you think. Where do you rank Lomo at 135? To me, he's number 4. Always like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.